Maryland. It's Tea with Tamara.
Care Bear Stare. Good morning, everybody. It is fantastic to be back at Tea with Tamara. As you may or may not have known, I was in Mexico last Wednesday running my very first destination retreat. So I am so excited to share with you one of the most powerful lessons that I am bringing home. And just if you're here, say a hi. If you're watching on the replay, say a hi. Let me know that you tuned in. So yeah, this was an incredible experience. So let me just begin today's Tea with Tamara by simply saying, do the thing. Do the things that scare you more than anything else in the world. I had never done a destination retreat. I had never been to Mexico in this way. I had only the intention of how it would be. And I created the container, and the magical souls who were meant to experience the experience all raised their hands to join me on this beautiful adventure. And I've got to tell you, you guys, just by being brave enough to do something that scared the snot out of me, and I had no idea what I was doing, an incredible journey occurred. Now, we did a whole bunch of really cool things in Mexico, I'm not going to lie. Like, I was like, whoa, like, how did all this happen? Because, again, when you allow the universe to be the reason or to take the reins in what's going on, then a whole bunch of magical things show up that you weren't even expecting. Now, I knew that I wanted to do a sweat lodge, and there were 8 of us in total, and none of us had done a sweat lodge before. So quick shout out to Kelly Reese, who helped set up with Margarita, the beautiful angel that helped us through the sweat lodging. And I don't know if you've ever been to a sweat lodge before, right? So there was only 2 things that I knew about a sweat lodge going into this. One was that it was dark, and the other was that it was really hot. And I mean, we can, and if you've never been in one, we can formulate what this looks like. For me, it looked like a sauna, to tell you the truth. Like, it was just a form of a sauna that was really dark and really hot. That's not what it is. That's not what it was at all. We went into Tulum, Mexico, into this beautiful space where, like, there was a bear on the gates, just to give you like the lead in. And it had, and I can put a picture of this in the comments if you want to see it. And the Big Dipper was on there, and it was such a beautiful painting. And there was a beautiful sign out front of the gate, the fence that said, you know, what is it? Oh my God, I can never remember. Temescal, which is like the sweat lodge. And we went in, and there was this fire burning by Carlos, who was the amore of Margarita. And this beautiful flame was going, and we walked by an altar where the herbs that we were going to be using were placed. And she sat us down, and she gave us this beautiful story about this particular sweat lodge was used in a birthing center here on this property. And there were so many beautiful women that chose to bear their children within this sweat lodge. And here we were, a group of people coming to be present, to release our fears, stand fully in our purpose, which was in itself a rebirth for each and every one of us. And so she shared this beautiful message and the stories of hope that came from the property that we were there. You could just feel this sense of like beauty in what we were about to do. And so we moved over to beside the fire, and we became very at one with Grandfather Fire and Grandmother Rock. And one by one, we were smudged. And later I would find out that we were all given something spectacular in the smudging, a message or something that we would carry into the sweat lodge that would really anchor into the experience for us. And it was so powerful, and it was so moving. So this whole time, I want to let you know my greatest fear is darkness and suffocation, and that I'm going to drown and I'm going to die and all of these kinds of things. So moving into this, I was a little hesitant and nervous that I would be okay being in something in closed quarters, complete dark, not feeling like I could breathe, all of that, right? But as Margarita was smudging me, this ease and flow, I felt my whole body relax into the knowing that this was going to be the most beautiful experience of my life. So the sweat lodge in itself, right? It's a small hut on the ground. And the door, now we were lucky, I believe, because the door was big enough to allow pregnant women the opportunity to come in. But when we went in on hands and knees, and we curled ourselves around in a circle, and one by one, the 8 of us sat down, and Margarita sat at the door, and Carlos came in and sat at some point. And as the rocks were being brought in, we were given a way to sing the blessing to Grandmother Rock. So there's this beautiful energetic scene happening, this connection between the 8 of us, Margarita, Carlos, just this honoring of rebirth, if you will. And we haven't even got to the most beautiful lesson yet. And so as everything is coming in and we're just kind of allowing, and, you know, the door's open still, so you can still see the light. You can still have an understanding of the outside world. And when it was time, Margarita says, okay, I'm going to close the curtain now, and you're going to close your eyes, and we're going to be fully present into this moment and this experience. And this is where you release all your fears and all your worries and fully let go. If ever there was a time for full surrender, this was it. So the doors came down, the rocks were all in, and beautiful, beautiful energy began to swirl around the sweat lodge, as song and unity and beauty was all an experience that we were all sharing together. And there were certain things, like there was one song that was sung, and it was a song by Lorianne that is sang in the Niagara region. And there was a moment, and it makes me so joyful and so full, that you realize that the expression of love is the same in every country. That here was this song that I had learned in Canada, and here we were singing it in Mexico by a different person. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This world is so universal, and it is so beautiful, and it is so magical. And my heart was so full. And then the curtain opened. And there were a few people who thought, yeah, I did it. I made it through the sweat lodge. That would be my husband, by the way. And, you know, he was a little anxious and a little nervous, because there was, again, you're faced with a fear, you're faced with your dark thoughts, you're faced with, you know, for me, the discomfort was right away, and I moved through the discomfort. For others, it came later, but there is a moment in a sweat lodge where you get to that peak of discomfort and you don't know if you can do it for 1 second longer. And then there is the release. So as we're in this halfway point, which we didn't know was a halfway point, I did, but some people didn't, Margarita gets together a bowl. And in this bowl, it's tea, okay? And in the tea are herbs. And she has us pass this bowl around the sweat lodge. And as we're passing, we receive the bowl with love. And we take a sip or two, and then we pass it to the person beside us. And they say, you say, I give this bowl with love. And the other person says, I received this bowl with love. And then it goes on in the circle. I give this bowl with love. I receive this bowl with love. And around it went in this beautiful expression. If you can just imagine, like the meeting eyes in this space of complete and utter oneness. And you feel the vibration of love from that person's eyes, from their smile, from just the expression of who they are. And you're bringing that energy of love into you. And you're feeling that love as you're drinking this tea, and you're turning to the next person, and you are just sharing with all your love this tea, and they receive it in that same beautiful connected state that you had. And so round 2 happened, which was fire. And I won't go into too much detail at fire, but fire caused a little discomfort for someone, my husband, but that's his story to tell and not mine. But it was a beautiful, beautiful expression. So at the end of it all, we left completely different people. But what the important message about this is the next day, as we were talking about receiving and giving, and in the spiritual world, they're the same thing. To receive and to give is the same energy. And yet we think of it as a separate energy that, you know, I'm not worthy to receive. I don't deserve these things, right? And when we release that, and we realize that it's just an expression of energetic breath, our heart inhales and exhales, and it's beautiful and it's spectacular and it's magical. And so I was trying to get this message to everyone at retreat. And one of the women looked at me and she said, oh my God, Tamara, I got it. And I said, what? She said, receiving and giving. It's going to make me emotional. Receiving and giving is the same, just when we were passing the tea in the sweat lodge. We received with love the tea, and then we passed the tea with love. And I was like, yes, that is exactly the same. How easy was it for us in that moment to receive the tea with love and then to pass the tea with love? It felt the same. The energy was beautiful in both of those expressions. And in that moment, that sweat lodge became the greatest lesson in the energy of love that I have ever felt. And it was simply because of sharing tea. So I ask you today, if you will, to be really, really open, because when someone is offering you tea or asking you to receive something through love, are you open to drink their tea? Are you open to receive that with love in honoring of their exhale and their expression into this world? So we've gotten to this space now, like getting a little bit more lighter here, that everything becomes, are you drinking the tea? Are you drinking the tea? Do you, when somebody offers to carry your luggage or pay for your part of lunch or buy you a coffee or give you a compliment, are you drinking the tea? Or are you not allowing the tea into your life? Pouring the tea out, saying your tea isn't good enough for me, whatever it is. But just think about that for a moment. How would you feel if you brewed a beautiful tea? See, I do have Tea with Tamara tea. And you went to offer your tea with somebody and they're like, I don't want your tea. Your tea is not for me. It wouldn't make you feel very good. So this is why I am asking you all in this moment, right, to drink the tea, all the tea. This world has so much tea to offer, and to be in this beautiful state of receiving and giving love as we did in the sweat lodge through passing of the tea. Oh, guys, it is just such a different way to experience the world, to experience this universe, to experience your business, your relationships, and everything that this world has to offer. So I just wanted to come in and share this, right? I'm just reading Christy Hayden's here. Thank you, Kristen. Yes, 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 right? Drink the tea. On a side note, just a quick side note, Tea with Tamara will be moving into a podcast, which I'm very, very, very excited about. So when that happens, I would like to offer some tea and drink some tea with some people. I'm putting together some of the pieces of the Tea with Tamara podcast over the next week or two, and then I would like to reach out. So if you're interested in sharing enlightened conversation about, you know, your spiritual journey that got you to where you are in your business and your life, please message me, because I would love to share this beautiful journey and this beautiful light of each other into this world in such a beautiful, magical way. So if you're up for sharing tea, send me a message. Let's connect. Let's get everybody's tea out into this world. That's what I say. But I love you all so much. And don't forget to drink lots of tea today. Love, 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 love. And I send you love, love, love. And everything's love, love, love. I shall see you next Wednesday here in Instagram and Facebook world for the live Tea with Tamaras until they go podcast version. Thank you all for being here and have the most magical day.